This is just some pictures that I took along the way today as we were coming to Duchesne, Utah. This was a point of interest called Devil's Slide. It's on.
Good evening from Duchesne, Utah. I had to ask them how you pronounce it here because I was going to say Duchesne, but no, that's wrong. It's Duchesne. If we're both sniffing,
Yes.
we don't have colds, we ain't sick. We've just had some authentic Mexican food and the darn salsa and
Yes.
the sauce that came with the meal that just set you on fire.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what that is. And as soon as we get done with this video, I'm finna go sleep off this Mexican food hangover. But we'll see what happens. We've had an eventful day today.
Yes.
What we're finna tell you is true. It actually happened.
Yes.
If you don't want to believe it, don't believe it. We're all adults, so don't believe it. But I'm telling you that what we're going to tell you happened.
Yes.
Happened.
Yes.
So we stayed last night in Tremonton, Utah,
Yes.
which is north of Salt Lake City, and we came around. We're to Duchesne, which is close to the Skinwalker Ranch on this side, and the Blind Frog Ranch on this side. And we came here, purposely to try to see the ranch. Sonia likes that show. My mom likes that show. And the Blind Frog Ranch is this way, and we're surrounded by Indian reservations. To the north is the Ouray and the Uinta reservation, and the Blind Frog Ranch is on the Ute reservation. So today, we this morning we put the campground, this campground we're at now, in the GPS, and I have a Garmin GPS, and then we both got our phones. We put it in there. A couple of them we couldn't find the address, and the Garmin you couldn't find the address. Finally, I put the address in my phone in the Apple map, and it gave us directions. So we came through here. As soon as we hit the Uinta Ouray Indian reservation, Mama's phone started acting up.
Yeah.
The camera didn't work, the facial recognition didn't work, and she had to turn it back on and off. I don't know how many times, but what was going on with it?
Yes. I'll have the camera on, and I was taking pictures because we had entered into the reservation. And when you take a picture, you can look at it, and then if you go out, it'll come back to just the camera. So you can take more pictures, but it wasn't doing that. It was just coming back to the same picture over and over and over and over. So I'd have to just swipe up and exit all out and go back into the app with my camera. And then my facial recognition wouldn't work. I've got that, because I got the bank on there and all the things, and, all your things that they want to look at your face. And it never does that. I can be wearing my ball hat, or I can take my glasses off, and it still recognizes my face, but it would not do it. So I did cut my phone off and cut it back on, and it worked for a little while, and then it started doing it again when we got back over to the other reservation. And so I cut it off and cut it back on, and it's working okay now. But I don't know what was happening. It was kind of crazy.
The Skinwalker Ranch, as the crow flies, is about 30 miles from here, and we called 3 different campgrounds to try to get in, and one of them was on the Ute reservation, and we called them Saturday, and the lady that answered the phone said, well, the one that does the reservation won't be back till Tuesday. How can if it's a campground, is it closed on the weekend? But
strange. So
we waited till Tuesday, and I called them back, and it went to a voicemail, and they didn't answer. The lady that runs this campground, we've called them 3 times.
Yes.
And this yesterday I called them. I didn't realize it was the same place that Mama called. And all 3 times they didn't want to take a reservation. They said, well, something may happen and you can't get here. Then there's no refund.
Yeah.
That's it's almost to me like they didn't want to rent us a campsite.
Right.
And then when we got closer, the GPS told us to turn before we get to here, and we went down. It's on the reservation, and we went down this little pig trail road, and it just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And we were towing the car, so you can't back it up. So finally, we had to. I was afraid it would turn into a dirt road, and we'd never get turned around. So I jumped out, and we unhooked the skate, and I finagled around and backed up the tow dolly, and took 20 minutes to back up that thing. And then we came back out, and we're going to town. We were going to wait till we get some service and find a campground, and we drove right past this one. So we went to town, turned around, came back, and there's 2 entrances, and I went past the first entrance, and Mama turned in there, and turns out that's an entrance to a cemetery.
That's also the entrance to the RV park.
The cemetery is right over there. And we went on the way to the Skinwalker place. There's another cemetery, a big cemetery, and there are hardly any tombstones. It's all just markers. I guess people don't have the money for tombstones. But it's I've got a crazy vibe, and I usually don't get crazy vibes. My mom's done told me if somebody knocks on the door tonight, we're not allowed to answer it.
Nope.
Even if it sounds like Emma or Fei Fei or somebody.
Nope.
Because they're capable. The shapeshifters are capable of imitating people that you know. And I don't believe in that stuff, but who knows? There's been some strange things that happened that we can't explain any other way. What else you got, Mama?
Yes. Well, we went over to the Skinwalker Ranch. You can only get so far. And this lady, these two cars were coming this way toward us as we were going down. And we thought they were blocking the road. I thought they were blocking the road, but it turns out that they were turning around. And the one lady, she turned around and she came up and she stops next to Papa and was talking to him. And I really couldn't hear her because the air was on, and I was had my camera out anyway. And I thought, shoot, I'm just gonna video. I didn't show her face, but you can hear her talking some. But I just caught the tail end of it. So she talked to Papa. And then there was another car coming toward us. I thought it was security or somebody, trying to tell us to go. But I'll let him tell the story about what all she said, because like I said, I only caught part of what she said. And so you drive down, and it's the big stop sign, which I'll insert the pictures and the video, and then you go, I don't know how far, not a half a mile, a quarter of a mile maybe. And it's a big black iron gate, and there's a campground sign for here, the UFO campgrounds, and I'm not sure, I don't know if that's just advertising back up the road. I think it was, because we passed it, but you can't go any further. And so Papa's going to tell you what the lady said when she went up there and she stopped and told us.
The UFO campground, I can't remember the full name of it, but on its website it says it's as close as you can legally get to the Skinwalker Ranch. And we looked at staying there, but they don't have any hookups, and that's just not it's not fun.
No.
So we opted not to do that, but then we drove past it, and we also drove past the one on the reservation that the lady wouldn't return our phone call. So anyway, this lady was coming out. She by herself in a car, in the middle of the Ute reservation, which is okay. That's not shouldn't be. You shouldn't feel like you can't go wherever you want to go in the United States. But here she was.
She was like an older white lady. I mean, just for context, because you think some teenager or something. It wasn't.
But she flagged me down, or flagged us down. And she said, you may want to turn around here. And I said, okay. And she said, or you can go around to the stop sign, I guess, and turn around. And that's where we'll do. And she said, I went down there. I don't know if she went past the stop sign or if she was just parked down there or what. But she said that's the security guard or somebody came out there armed, and he didn't pull his weapon on her, but he told her that she'd have to leave or that she'd be cited for trespassing. And then she told us that that they told her not to be picking up any rocks or anything, and that she'd have to leave or she'd be cited. And she said, and then there's the whole Prometheus thing. What's Prometheus? I don't know. I googled it in relation to the Skinwalker Ranch, and that's the name of the production company that does the TV show. But the way she was talking about it was I don't know. It might be the Secret Service or Prometheus. I don't have any idea. But it shook her up that it was Prometheus. So
yeah.
Ooh, Prometheus. So anyway, we went down to the stop sign, took a picture, and turned around and came back, and there wasn't any issue. But
yeah.
Going on the way in, there was a police officer stopped on the side of the road, and it said federal police. I'd never seen the federal police before.
I neither.
They have, on the reservations, they have Indian police, and they have Bureau of Indian Affairs officers, but I'd never seen I'd never heard of federal police, I don't think, until I saw that today. What else you got, Mama?
Yeah, it was very strange. I did a video as you turn in, and people's houses are along the way there because you know it is on the reservation. And I did a video. I will insert that as you're going up to there, and then several pictures that we took, kind of around a little bit. You know what we could. So it was different. It was kind of strange. And Papa's right. The federal police. I've never heard of that either, so I don't know what the whole deal is. We just don't know. It's something very strange around here. All these things happening and us passing this campground by and people kind of not wanting us to stay or want people to stay, I guess. I don't know. It's just real strange.
And the campground lady, you know, the lady that works in the office, she didn't tell us anything, or didn't tell me. I went in and checked in. Anything about bathrooms, anything about a shower, anything about what time you check in, what time you check out. She gave me the thing that says, you know, what site we are, and she told me how to get there, and that was the end of it. I haven't seen her since. So I don't know. Utah is quite the contradiction of itself.
Yes.
northern Utah, where we stayed last night, is very very deserty, very, very mountainy. I put some pictures on Facebook this morning of the mountains behind the campground. And then we came down I-84 to Heber City, and Heber City is cool.
Yeah,
and
very pretty.
That area around there is very pretty, very, very mountainous, wooded, and it doesn't look like the desert at all. And then when you get down here, the farther south you get, the closer to the Skinwalker place, it's just all desert. Mm-hmm. And I'm not. We're not going to move to Utah, but if I was going to move to Utah, Heber City would be a candidate. You know, not this part of Utah. I wouldn't. There's nothing about this that's attractive. There are several farms along the little river here, and they irrigate the crap out of their stuff, I'm sure, because it's green, but it's all due to irrigation, it's not natural. Tomorrow we're going to Monticello, Utah, which is sort of in the center of southeastern Utah, around all the parks. It's close to Arches, it's close to Canyonlands, it's close to Bears Ears, it's close to the Colorado border. When you cross over, they have the Canyon of the Ancients National Monument. We're going to try to hit as many of those as we can, and then that campground is 300 miles from Albuquerque. Once we get to Albuquerque, I-40 runs straight through there, and it runs all the way to Crossville. So we're going to get on I-40 and probably go 450 miles a day and get to the house. It depends on the weather and you know what time we can roll out of the campground. What else you got, Mama?
Yep, that's it. That's it. We're gonna see all the parks tomorrow if we possibly can. Well, we're staying there 3 days, so by the time we get checked in tomorrow and things, we might have time to see one, maybe two, and then the next day we'll go sightseeing, and then the third day probably be chores. We'll have to do laundry one more time on the road probably before we get on to the house.
I reckon that's all. We're thinking about putting our phone outside today on time lapse tonight and see if it catches any, I don't know, meteors or what have you. Depends on how clear the sky is and where we can put our phone. The issue is going to be who's going to go out in the dark and put the phone out there. So I don't know.
Yeah. Henry.
Henry. Yeah. Henry's more ready to be home than any of us. But
yes,
he's tired of riding. But but he's doing good. He's hanging in there, and he was on his best behavior at Aunt Sue's, so I'm proud of him for that.
Yes.
But he just gets tired of riding sometimes. He just lay down, and you can tell by looking at him. He's like, what the beep are we doing here? When are we going home?
When are we going home?
But so we may try that tonight, and we'll have something to report tomorrow, or not report, and we'll report in from Monticello, Utah tomorrow evening.
Yes. And you might want to turn up your sound for the video. Like I said, the lady was in the car over here, and I just barely got a little bit of what she said. So you might just have to turn up your TV for just a minute. We'll see how it comes across on the YouTube.
If nothing don't get us tonight, then we'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road. This is on the way to the Skinwalker Ranch. What's she saying?
What's Prometheus?
I don't know. I'm telling you to go away.
I don't know.
This may be security right here. We don't know. No. No. What all was that lady saying? I'm recording.